Welcome to the Soapbox vidcast series number 2. In series number 1, we talked about how Sophie for ServiceNow brings some intelligence to your system of record. In this series, we'll be going after the Soapbox Intelligent Service Management Platform, which Paul here says is the first viable alternative to ServiceNow. We're going to find out. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Mike.
What's the story? ServiceNow is the industry leader in this space. I mean, why do you think that there isn't there's space for another ITSM tool?
That's a great question, Mark. You know, we've been involved in the ServiceNow marketplace for the last 10 years. ServiceNow is a great product. We built Sophie as a plug-in to ServiceNow to extend its capabilities, add intelligence to ServiceNow. But what we've found over the last few years is the increasing trend by ServiceNow to really start focusing more on the Global 2000 customer base, so the very large enterprises, and less on some of the earlier customers that we had a lot of success with here in Australia and around the world. And so, you know, we found that ServiceNow is a great fit for enterprise customers, but increasingly not so much a fit for those customers below that size.
Right. Why is that?
Well, you know, there's three key areas. One is cost. And complexity of the solution. You know, for an enterprise organisation that's got the capacity to deal with that, that's not so much of an issue. But for medium-sized, large organisations, it's becoming prohibitively expensive, both on licensing, implementation, ongoing support. So the second area is around automation. You know, the need to be able to do more with less. To automate manual tasks. And sure, ServiceNow has the ability to do that, but it comes at a high cost of licensing and complexity to get value out of that capability. So for a lot of organisations who can't afford that, they just are left with having to use ServiceNow to really use people to manage manual tasks.
Right. So there really is no alternative, is what you're saying?
Well, there are alternative vendors in the marketplace, but the question is there a viable alternative for ServiceNow? The capability that ServiceNow does extremely well, which is being able to offer a platform as a service and be able to apply service management principles across other parts of the business like HR and facilities and finance, and the ability to drive automation through AI. None of the other vendors in the marketplace are doing that, and so there's this growing chasm of functionality and cost that's developing that we feel is exactly where we play.
Right, so that's where the Soapbox difference is that the alternative that we are going to play in?
That's exactly right. So Soapbox is a platform, is an intelligent service management platform. So the two key phrases there I want to highlight are intelligence and platform. Right. So our intelligence capability, similar to what we do with Sophie for ServiceNow, gives us the ability to learn from observing how your best agents work, and augmenting and supporting your other agents with predictions and advice and guidance, and then ultimately automating the resolution of issues directly at kind of first contact or self-service. And platform is really what we're just talking about earlier, which is the ability for the system for you to be able to spin up applications for other service management requirements within the business, be it HR, facilities, essentially any other area within the business that requires that underlying service management capability. And so we are a true platform as a service, as opposed to some of these other vendors that really just are IT service management products.
Okay, so you've described Soapbox really well, right? What it does. So can you describe the target customers?
So there's two broad customer categories. One is organisations that are on ServiceNow today but are under pressure from a price and a complexity point of view, and they're saying, look, ServiceNow's just moved away from us. We're only using 20 to 30% of the product capability, but we're paying for 100% of the price, and that they need to look for options. Well, and today they feel somewhat kind of constrained because whilst they want to be paying less and have less complexity, they really don't see any alternatives in the marketplace.
Right, so they like the functionality that ServiceNow gives them, but they're not using all of it. But they're not using all of it, and the cost of all of it's really prohibitive.
Exactly. So there are customers of ServiceNow that are considering, as they reach the end of their contract, to look for alternatives, and that's one category of customer. The other category of customer are people that are on maybe some of those second-tier vendor platforms that are looking to add maturity, looking to add ITSM maturity, and those platforms just can't do it. So they're looking to kind of scale up, if you will, and they're looking to ServiceNow as the leader in the industry, and it's just too expensive. And so they're also somewhat locked into their current solutions, looking for alternatives.
Right. Sounds like there's a bit of a no man's land. There's a bit of a leap to get to the next level, and then there's a bit gap in between, and that's where Soapbox lives.
That's right.
But what about ServiceNow customers that are in a 3-year contract and partway through? Now, how do we get Soapbox in the door?
Yeah, look, it's a good question. That not all customers are right at that renewal point that they're considering their options. So the typical engagements that we have with customers are, and that's one of them. A lot of customers are at their nearing the end of their contract. That might be 6 months out, and they're being asked by management to look for alternatives. And so we would engage customers at that point and provide a compelling reason for them to consider going to Soapbox. And often that compelling reason is using Sophie as a segue, as a transition tool, because by putting Sophie into the environment, providing value while they're still using Soapbox, we get to learn about the environment, we get to ingest all that knowledge, and so it makes the transition way more seamless. And it's really our secret sauce. It's our unfair competitive advantage when we look at the competitors in the marketplace. And the other area that we typically engage in is where a customer is partway through their contract. They've kind of made a decision that they're in two minds, let's say, if not clearly in one mind to renew or not to renew ServiceNow because of the pricing considerations. And so we but they still have a need to spin up new applications on the ServiceNow platform. One of the great things about having a platform is, and something that ServiceNow has done really well at, is to encourage people to look at other areas of the business, like HR and facilities, and get the work requests that are being managed typically through emails and manual processes onto the ServiceNow platform. The issue is, the licensing overheads of ServiceNow makes it prohibitive. So what we often engage with customers early on is, put Soapbox in there, spin up those applications on Soapbox, have Sophie as a system of engagement and intelligence that all customers go through to fulfill all requests, be it those done on Soapbox or those done on ServiceNow. So from a customer point of view, from an end customer point of view, it's completely transparent that some work is being managed by Soapbox and some work is being managed by ServiceNow. And so then you fast forward to the end of the contract, and it's a relatively simple exercise of transitioning those ITSM processes that are on ServiceNow onto Soapbox. So it's as I said earlier, it's our secret sauce, if you will, that makes it so more compelling for an organisation to switch over to us, because we provide that smooth transition mechanism.
That sounds interesting. I mean, so what I'm hearing from you is that you can have Soapbox side by side with ServiceNow and running up custom applications, and the cost will be significantly less than running those applications onto ServiceNow.
So it's absolutely the case that that cost is a key driver, and the fact that there's no.
But you're not giving anything up, are you, in terms of functionality in this scenario?
That's right, and the biggest inhibitor for change is the change from an end user experience. What customers don't want to deal with is go here for HR, go here for IT, go here for something else. By bringing them all still through the ServiceNow portal, enhanced with the Sophie virtual agent, we're able to remove that objection of yet another system of record to go to.
Right. Well, thanks for that, Paul. I mean, I'm starting to hear that there is a place for Soapbox in the marketplace. So what's next from here?
So what I'd like to leave you with is that Soapbox is really the evolution of service management. It's taking the principles of AI, applying those pragmatically to a traditional system of record to get work done faster. And it's all about how do we streamline the fulfillment of requests and the fulfillment of work by using AI to learn from your agents and translate that learning into actionable augmentation and automation to get work done faster.
Right.
And the fact that we can coexist in an existing environment, such as ServiceNow or other vendors, and provide that transition mechanism is really the key point of difference that we offer.
Right.
So we're really excited about the future. In the next few episodes, we're going to walk you through the different aspects of the system, the key points of difference, the user interface, the artificial intelligence-driven automation, and we think you're going to be pretty excited.
Fantastic. Now, if I'm interested in a demo right now, today, is that possible?
Absolutely. If you want to get a demo, just contact us via the website or directly. You can contact me on my email, paul.heath@soapbox.ai, and we can set up a demo anywhere in the world. We can also set up a trial instance of Soapbox so you can see how Soapbox works in your environment.
And there you have it, the end of episode 1. If you're not ready to use Paul's email address, head on down to the website, soapbox.ai, and you can have a look at some of the features of Soapbox, the platform. Now tune in next week when we actually get to test drive Soapbox. It's going to be a good one.